What is the worst/weirdest favor a friend has ever asked you for? Not a friend, but a kid back in high school asked if he could borrow my phone to watch porn during class. I told him no, obviously, and he said, "Come on man, it's not like I'm going to jack off, I just want to watch it." I asked why he didn't use his own phone and he said, "Because it might get taken away." So you're gonna get mine taken away? You're already going to get in trouble, it doesn't matter whose fucking phone it is. Also, why the fuck would I want to get involved? He set fire to an apartment building a few weeks later. I don't usually ask for anything, but I was hungry while I was at work. I asked my friend to go get my food that my mom prepared at my parents' home. He said sure and left. My friend was visiting me at work and I took the chance to ask him to get me a plate. He came back and brought me a dish of his own. He cooked a bacon, grilled cheese sandwich for me. This is not the weirdest experience that I've had, but it's his. I asked him why didn't you get the food that my mother made at my parents' place? He misheard me and thought I asked him to make me food. Best laugh that we had. My best friend is a huge guy. He's 6 feet 9 inches and 250 pounds, but he's incredibly scared of ghosts, and he believes there's ghosts in his house, even though I've assured him numerous times there are not. Every time he has to go in his basement, he calls me to come to his house, he lives alone, to go into his basement with him while he does whatever he needs to do down there, like getting stuff out of storage, flipping an electrical breaker, etc., even if he only has to go down there for a minute or two. We're in our 20s, and as funny as I think it is every time he calls me to come with him to his basement, I always show up anyways because that's what friends are for. You would never think such a huge man would be so deathly scared to go in his basement alone, but I love him to death regardless. Worst, when my best friend from high school moved out of his parents' house, he did so without informing his parents about it. He moved out on the sly while they were at work and asked me to help him. When they came home sooner than expected, he asked me to go down there and make up a lie, while he snuck out the back and hopped the fence, so he wouldn't have to face them. I did it, but I can't say I feel good about it. Weirdest, my brother, who had grown estranged from me for well over a decade, called me up out of the blue one day and asked me to hold on to some baggies of the good stuff, because his place was too hot right now and he'd send someone over to come pick it back up in a few days. I gave him a fake address. Shitty thing to do, but my friend needed help getting sand for some project. Sure, no problem. I get to his house and we leave in his ratty-ass late 80s Suburban. I'm thinking we're getting bags of sand at Home Depot or something. Nope, he drives us to a giant mountain of sand down by the lake that's used as ballast for freighters. But he doesn't have any buckets, so we just shovel it into the back of the Suburban. Of note, the passenger window was stuck down, which was usually fine as it was midsummer and 90 degrees. But in this instance it just turned the truck into a sandstorm the whole ride home. Wife asked me to help her carry her dad's body down the stairs. Long story short, her dad obviously died. Her mom calls to tell us and asks we come up to see her. We get there in about 20 minutes, 45-minute drive, coroners have yet to show up. They show up finally, see he's a bigger guy and asks the widow if anyone's available to help carry him downstairs. I'm outside smoking when she comes out and asks, I of course oblige, and we then proceeded to bag him up before carrying him downstairs. A kid I knew from church stopped by one day during summer vacation and asked me if I wanted to walk to the store with him. I was bored so I said yes. We get there and he just says he needs to pick up a roll of film, so I told him I'd just wait outside. He went in there and fucking shoplifted it. I had no idea until he came back out and the store manager stopped us as we were leaving. I was so fucking pissed. Like, why did you choose to involve me in this shit? Later I realized he was doing the classic cry for attention from his parents. He was the only child of parents who took in a lot of foster kids, so that kind of fucked him up emotionally. But at the time I was just mad as hell and avoided him as much as possible after that. When my mom died, my husband wrote a beautiful piece to be read at her funeral. They were very close and everyone at her service loved it. 2 years later, the mom of a friend died, and the friend asked me to ask my husband if he would write something for the mom's funeral. Granted, we've never met the mom. So my friend calls me, and asks me if I want to make some easy money. I asked how. She asked me if I would just go and sell some DVDs or Blu-rays, I can't remember, to a buy and sell store. She had like 20-something copies of Dumbo, which was just released at that time. I was immediately suspicious as fuck about this. Brand new. Sealed. She wasn't allowed to sell anything at the stores anymore, they were also suspicious. Now I'm not saying she was stealing these and then turning them for a profit. I'm not saying that. I obviously did not want to make that easy money. I'm a single mom, I have responsibilities, I can't be doing this dumb shit. I just don't talk to her anymore.